Hatton as EA Sports brings you to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
We're going to set. 57's Mike. Mike 57. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. Here's a throw out wide to Anderson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now on 2nd and 13. Darnold caught by his tight end Wesco. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing again is Darnold. Goes underneath for Bell. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18.
Okay, I'm not so great at math. I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more Aggressive, maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. To throw is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
58, right over there.
Here's Wentz to throw. And he finds Howard complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Running with Howard. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Aguilar has it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down now, it's Howard, and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And Howard stopped short. He didn't get there.
Fourth down.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On the toss play, Howard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the give, running right is Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Can we go back to the days where if you tapped your wrist as a quarterback, that just meant you're going to spike the ball, not fake spike it and try and get something downfield? They just tried it there, and it wasn't successful, but I know what you're thinking, right?
Dan Marino, Jets, 90s.
Yeah, without a doubt. His Dolphins got over on them. They faked the spike play, thought they were going to stop the clock, ended up throwing a nice pass for a touchdown, I believe.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Elliott puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on that,
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And you're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
A screen to Bell. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Darnold now to throw. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 41-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Darnold going to lead the offense up 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. Again, Darnold. Wesco, the tight end, making the catch. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. And this one is right down Broadway. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 2nd and 5 now. Wentz gets this one to Joshua Perkins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Go. Sweet! Oh, here we go. Oh.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive because I think a lot of people thought that if you have a running back and a flex position, that maybe Christian McCaffrey would go into the flex because he catches the ball so well. And you would go ahead and elevate the big guy out of Tennessee, Derrick Henry, to the All-Pro running back. Henry ends up being a second-team guy, but McCaffrey deserves being first-team running back as well as first-team flex. He had a tremendous, spectacular year.
And as you might imagine, Baltimore leads the way. 5 players named to the All-Pro selection. Of course, leading the way for them, the quarterback Lamar Jackson.
Yes, and rightly so. And I fully expect him to be named the MVP when we get to NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. He's going to sweep all of those, and he deserves it. Carried that team throughout the season and got better in their bigger games.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Caught here by Bell. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 30. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll run it with Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 12, Darnold buying time to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. And the pressure gets to him again. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Back now here on EA Sports, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
46, boys, 46.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. They run with Howard. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
From the 41, Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And
because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Wentz now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wentz.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Jets are going to get the football back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Well, they'll run it here on the Jets sweep. And some space here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Bell. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now it's Darnold. And that's knocked away and incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Here's Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Going quickly here to Thomas. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Now Darnold. Flushed out right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Point after here coming up. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.